What is your goal as a faith influencer on the social media platforms that you stand on?
To continue being my authentic self and to not be afraid to share things that I'm still in the midst of. I think that for me, I used to be the type of person where I'm gonna tell you the testimony at the end of the testimony. I don't really go into what's happening while I'm in the midst of the test part of the testimony. And I feel like for me, God has called me at certain times to say, let people know what you're going through right now. And I think that people have this habit, especially on social media, of looking at people and saying, you know, oh no, she would never be dealing with this or she would never be dealing with that. And I think that sometimes when people can see you going through something, it helps them to understand like, oh, okay, everyone has a struggle. Yes. Everyone has something that they're going through.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's where we're coming to actually living out loud. I used to ask people, what is it to be transparent? I think that there's healing in transparency.
Yeah.
But at what point are we transparent? Is it after, like you said, after we've gotten through and it's like, oh, girl, I went through this, I went through that. You know, yeah, I have the Bentley now in the house, but they don't, you know, yeah, I was homeless, but when you were homeless. So is transparency while you're in the midst of it, or is it after you come out of it?
It's so funny. I asked God that question maybe like this time last year, and he was telling me that there's a difference between transparency and vulnerability. And he was saying that transparency is when you're able to share what happened after the fact and not leave any facts out because there's no shame and there's no guilt, that you can be transparent and say, this is what happened, this is how I dealt with it. But that vulnerability is, this is what's happening in my soul right now.